no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left.
Side stories.
From your glade.
That's when the cannibalism started.
Side stories. Yes. Poo-Poo rain. Poo-Poo rain. Poo-Poo rain. Poo-Poo rain. Poo-Poo rain. Poo-Poo rain. Do you think that there's more lady slapping in the filmed version of Poo-Poo Rain
Poo-Poo rain.
than the film Purple Rain?
I just wish that Prince had his Cool as Ice movie where, you know, like Vanilla Ice, he was with that chick and then she was dating somebody else and he was like, if you want to drop that zero and get with a hero, let me know at any time. And
He
I
did
can
have a
also
movie.
work.
Actually, I think Purple Rain is actually very similar to that plot.
Is it?
Yeah, very similar.
Did he have a motorcycle?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
all right. What do I know? Poo-Poo rain.
Whoa, actually. So Vanilla Ice's movie and Prince's movie had the same plot.
What? 50-50, bro.
That's not good.
Well,
That's not good. Someone should have looked at that.
I don't think that Prince had a home reconstruction show on HGTV that he did so poorly that they were having to cancel it because it turns out Vanilla Ice not very good at home construction.
How incredible would have been, though, to see Prince trying to negotiate all these ladders in the pumps. Because he wouldn't dress down ever.
No, he wouldn't.
He would never wear flats. I remember I was listening to, I forgot, it was the Kevin Smith, that famous Kevin Smith story where he talked about how he got invited to Prince's house to shoot a documentary, and then he was like shooting for days and he didn't know why. And that Prince's handler kept telling him, like, don't ask him why he doesn't wear sneakers. Just don't ask him.
Well, you got to ask him now.
Well, because that's the thing is then Kevin Smith went up to him. He's like, I couldn't help but notice the heels all the time.
Yeah.
And he does not enjoy that.
He doesn't.
Because he just
Very
views them,
tiny.
He just views them as feet.
I know. Welcome to Side Stories, everyone. Ben hanging out with Henry Poo-Poo Rain.
Poo-Poo rain, Poo-Poo rain.
I think that he may have had a small complex given his short stature, although wasn't that one of the reasons that all the gals liked him?
Yes.
Because he's one of them.
He's not a machismo kind of guy.
But he is, because when he was dating Carmen Electra, I do remember her telling a story to one of these publications.
But you know he ate pussy like a goddamn tornado.
We don't know that.
What?
Because I think he was also very much like, yeah.
Well, because he got
I
the
think he was
Jehovah's
like
Witnesses stuff, like
Well,
became...
he was.
Yeah.
He was born into it. But he used to have Carmen sleep in full makeup and a dress and high heels.
It's strange.
So I think that, yeah, I actually don't think he did eat pussy. And I love Prince.
Me too. And I'm sure he did at some point.
I think
At some point.
I
To
don't know.
To have Raspberry Beret. Raspberry Beret
true.
he's at least seen it.
Well, a hemorrhoid. You know, that's really what Raspberry
Maybe.
Beret is all about.
I mean, depends on what country you're in.
Yeah, but I actually, let us know what you think.
Please.
We're going right to the crowd here.
Side stories, lpotl@gmail.com. When did Prince start eating pussy and when did he stop?
I think he did. People do that? People do that?
That's not ice cream.
It's not ice cream.
That's not a hot dog.
And as we learned from Varsity Blues, yes, you can put different creams
You don't
on.
want to, though. You don't want to.
I know, because you got sick. But anyway, why
With the sugars. Sugars are bad.
Why Poo-Poo Rain?
You got to be careful. You out there. If you're out there right now, man, get yourself an umbrella because it is a raining a dookie.
Get yourself a diaper umbrella,
This
folks.
is one of those stories. You can see it's right here on my phone. I don't normally do it for my phone. This came in right under the wire. As I was sitting here, I mean it. I was like, I was all prepped for the show.
Yep.
I was ready to go. I have all the stories lined up.
Hours of prep.
Hours, true. I mean, you know, and then this slid right in. Can you even believe Poo-Poo falling from the sky? Here's how often it happens. Now, this is steps
Wait.
in the beautiful city of Minneapolis.
What the fuck? That's where Prince is from.
Poo-Poo rain. It's a bird. It's a plane. Nope. It's poop. A professional journalist wrote that.
Wow.
To begin, this is from CBS.
There's no way ChatGPT could come up with that.
There's no way.
I think our jobs are safe here. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's human shit.
That's very easy to do if you've, well, it's fun. Honestly, even Zoomers don't even know what that tagline's from. They don't know what's going on. They're just here for the Poo-Poo Rain. On May 12th, residents of Burnsville, Minnesota were waiting in line at a Caribou Coffee, which is fine. I don't like.
You
I don't
know
really
what
like
I'm going to
Caribou
say?
Coffee.
I'm not waiting in line for it.
No,
that's all.
No. Yeah, never once.
I'm not waiting in line for any of these coffees.
And then they said they were waiting for it, and their windshield was splattered with what they said could only be described as brown rain. The odor was so strong that the woman who was handing me my coffee noted how much it smelled, Carissa Brown said.
And you know how bad that has to smell to overcompensate?
Carapoo coffee?
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Because there's a Domino's Starbucks combo out here, which is really disgusting. And when you walk into Starbucks, doesn't it smell like shit? It does smell like shit, right? Coffee smells like shit.
There is a Domino's Starbucks combo?
It's right on Lancashire.
What is that called? The diarrhea store?
I don't know, brother. They're sharing a building. Either way.
All right, so they said it's like, oh, Poo-Poo, it's smelling bad, blah, blah, blah. They didn't know what was going on. And then she said, according to Carissa, I mean, my cat had something to it. My cat had something similar to it this morning, so I've had a lot today with the poop. This is just one woman's statement. I don't
She
know.
said her cat had a lot to do with it this morning? Don't cats shit in litter boxes? Do you look at it?
This is a poorly written article by a robot that really should understand how humans talk.
Wow.
Right now, I had my A&P license. I went to school to be an aircraft mechanic.
What the fuck do I give a shit? Talk about the poop.
And I didn't know if there was maybe a way you could release it mid-flight. So that's why I'm a little confused. I'm going to go and look into it myself.
Well, maybe a Dave Matthews Band. We don't know. He is performing again, and perhaps he's not just dropping stool from the boats anymore.
And it turns out they got out. Yeah, absolutely just liquid shit falling from the sky. Coated all these people's cars. And this is now, this is the next tag in the CBS News article saying prior poops.
Bro, I got one right here.
I know. I mean, my whole life is one. In 2018, a 22 to 26 pound chunk of ice fell on the Badil village in India. Some villagers, they went as far to think that it was an extraterrestrial object, and they even took samples of it home.
Very Joe Dirt. Very Joe Dirt.
A sample of the projectile was sent out for chemical analysis. You know, they cut off a chunk.
No, I'm not numb. My God, it's not cocaine.
No, it's
not
my teeth covered in there. Shit. This is shit.
It's shit.
It's human
Hey, Bob.
shit.
Bob, I think it's shit. Come here, give me a big kiss.
But according to the International Aviation Authorities, they strongly suspected that it was shit.
Well, isn't this interesting? I didn't realize how common this is.
It was also in India, another one in India in 2016. She suffered a severe shoulder injury when she was hit by a football-sized chunk of shit that was shot from an airplane.
That sucks. Well, also in 2018, in British Columbia, Susan Allen of Kelowna, they were driving with her mother near Peachland. And they say it was a nice day, 64 degrees.
Sure.
They were stopped at a red light, and they had their sunroof open.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, they realized there's a really, really bad smell.
Poo-poo rain.
That's when they were inundated. This is according to Vice, R.I.P. They were inundated with feces, which came from a plane above, and it smothered them in their own car.
It's not supposed to do that.
She said it was a blue-brown in color, grainy, and smelled of chlorine and feces. She says, like a clean poop smell, if that's possible.
These people, even just trying to describe it, it's like, oh, this is 2012. A Long Island couple were covered in quote-unquote sludge.
I'm not going outside anymore, bro.
I love it. You remember, what was it? Not Tommy Boy, the seagull, Black Sheep. It was like covered some kind of crud. There must be some kind of crud.
Well, then you're going to be a millionaire, the first person to ever find white mud.
Crud, yeah. And in 2012, right, apparently it was a blue ice. It fell over their roof of their car. It broke apart. They called it pungent blue ice.
Indeed. Wow. I mean, we're kind of jumping all over the place, but
There's
all the stories.
These are the same stories.
They are the story. According to Alan, again, she said, I'm telling you, when this hit our vehicle, there was so much that it felt like a whole pile of mud falling from the sky.
It's some kind of funny smelling mud there. This is the same story.
She said you could see it hitting the vehicle. And when it was hitting our faces, the first thing my son said to me was, it felt freezing cold and then it smelled like, pardon my pun, shit. But that's not a pun. Oh my God. She says, my son threw up and we had so much in our faces. Both of us, our faces were covered in poop. She said her eyes started burning immediately.
Jeez. Well, because that's the blue waste. That's a treatment. That is in the toilet. Because that's what allows it to kind of dissolve. Because normally what happens is that
all about it.
They're not supposed to, despite what we're talking about here, they're not supposed to let these vats go. Right?
No,
I said that
it's very dangerous.
Basically, according to this, there are some flights that are shittier than others. There's some
I'm
flights
sure.
where how many times I've
Whatever flight we took from fucking Ireland to go to wherever the fuck we were going,
Liverpool.
that's a poopy flight.
That was a very poopy flight. I've also I'm going to be honest, especially living in Atlanta from back in the day when I'd be
Sure.
leaving from it would normally be like some form of rap party where I just drank as physically hard as I could for a bunch of hours.
And then you got to sober up. So you go to the buffet, you have a bunch of salami.
Slam it in there.
Yeah.
I go right to the airport, right? Freshly hammered. And I've definitely full on shellacked a toilet in an airplane 3 times over a 6-hour period.
Buddy, back in the day, I used to see how long I could stay in the bathrooms, especially if you're towards the back of the plane. And really, no one bothers you.
No.
But the problem with sitting, if you do get more in the front of the plane, your first class, your business
Everybody's
class.
a high turnover.
High turnover because
Guys
there's
go
only
boom, boom, boom.
there's the one bathroom.
Yes. But
anyway, this
it said sometimes though, if there is so much shit that is entered into the vats, because normally it lands ahead. They're supposed to empty it on what they call the honey truck. That's like what they call it normally. It's the honey truck that sucks all the liquid shit out of the plane at the very end of it.
That's great.
But they said apparently it can hit the top and then it can seep out of the top of the tank and then just kind of leak out of the back of the plane.
Yeah, great.
But by the time it gets to you, it's supposed to be ice.
Right.
The fact that they all got sprayed with liquid shit in the actual story that we began with today
Yes.
actually shows it might not even come from a normal commercial plane.
Yeah.
I think it comes straight from God itself.
It really might be a God Duke. It's interesting. Just lastly, going back to Canada, in British Columbia, there was a chick. She was sitting on her porch in Yellowknife, and then she just got dumped on.
Yeah.
They said it was sprays from above. But you know, the biggest angle here, the biggest hook, she says Transport Canada, it's a government department, they organized a cover-up. And they've been saying everything is safe, but
dude.
it ain't safe.
Well, because this is a massive issue. I'm just even looking at this little article from this robot wrote. Sewage, I guess.
How the fuck did it take us 10
roads.
years to get to these stories?
But these are just fucking, this is just parameters that they've set. Sewage, I guess, it needs to be treated if it's going to be flushed. This is from a cruise ship, right?
Oh.
So what they do with a cruise ship.
Wait, why don't you just dump it right in the toilet?
Well,
Right in the ocean?
Well, because you have to watch out where you're at.
But
right?
don't fish like to eat shit?
I don't think they're supposed to, but then we eat the fish.
We don't eat the bottom feeder fish.
You don't know what we
don't.
eat.
No, but we don't eat the bottom feeder fish, I don't think.
They said they have to go to specific waterways and slowly dump out, which is kind of like how I've definitely full-on drive-by sharded many people on various modes of transport, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Where you just do an SPD down a line of 10 people.
You ever see the...
and you slowly release it.
Do you ever watch the footage of those infrared? And then they show when people are farting in public.
I do
infrared footage. It's very
really
funny. Because it's all nanas, hot chicks.
Oh, yeah.
They're just farting all the time.
Oh, yeah, because again, what you've learned, a lot of especially girls that are on the skinnier side, with their butt cheeks don't completely touch. It just slides right out.
And that diet, a lot of veggies oftentimes, and fish.
But then so cruise ships are supposed to splurt it out. And so they have this rule, I guess, that you can release liquid shit out of a cruiser if it is treated. So if it has all the blue stuff in it, up to 3 miles next to a coastline, it's water.
That's
it don't
too
just
close.
sit there. It don't just sit there.
That's
And
too
so they
close.
said, once you get to 3 miles,
You
raw dog it. You can just leave raw shit can just come out of the cruise ship and just go anywhere. I don't think anything's ever been clean.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Just
This is truly a bombshell. This just happened.
I know.
I had other stories I was going to line up and talk about.
I know.
This is when he giveth. Oh, thank you, Satan. When he giveth.
Yes, this is, I don't believe, I think it would be gurgling from the bottom if it was Satan giving us the Duke. This is indeed a sign that God exists. Waste from an airplane. Apparently there's a little safety lock, right? But then they say mistakes do happen with the safety lock.
No way.
And then so accidents literally occur. God. Yes, but blue ice. So be careful. Don't like the blue ice. Don't like the yellow ice. Look very little ice.
You know what you want? Unless that blue is shocking raspberry.
Yeah.
I do love a blue raspberry slushy. I do like that style of flavor. I like a white raspberry. I like a white raspberry too. It's very surprising.
I don't know the last time I had a freaking slushy.
If you had one now, you'd throw up.
Yeah.
It's a lot for an adult gullet.
I want to mix some vodka in there.
That's the thing. If you put vodka in it, then it's very, very good.
Rise from your grave.
All right. Well, anyway, that was a great way to start.
Hey, man.
Poo-Poo raid.
It's better than I
indeed.
had. It's better than what I had.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of other stuff here also. So let's see here. You want?
I got some. All right, let me go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Let's do some true crime up top. We have a bunch of true crime that I do want to cover, but we're going to wait a little bit because we're doing a true crime roundup with last podcast on the left with Marcus this week, and we're going to have him talk a little bit about Jesse McFadden. We're going to talk a little about Letitia Stouch, who very fucked up case,
and perhaps a little bit on this Koberger case, which continues to
very infancy
slowly go forward,
slowly roll out. But the story taking place is in PA. Walter Zollner III. Now, this was a young man, 31 years fun. He was arrested on Thursday for murdering his neighbor. Now,
that's not good.
He shot him up. But the thing was that that's how it started. We actually they went and they figure out, right. So according to this is the criminal complaint.
He didn't go full Robert Durst, did he? He didn't chop him up into little pieces and claim self-defense.
No. It's a little bit farther along on that. On May 5th at approximately 8 p.m., police responded to the address for a report of a male, later identified as Potavani, found deceased with a gash on his head. So it looked like he was beaten to death while he was asleep.
That's not good.
And so they found out, they executed the search warrant. They found out that they found the trail from where they broke in, and it was his next door neighbor, Walter Zollner. Now, when they got to Walter Zollner's house, they found that the entire house was loaded with guns.
Okay.
And he had a couple AR-15s. He was ready to go. He wrote a journal that basically said, hey, I'm going to kill a lot of people. I'm going to attack the police, and I'm going to attack a lot of people. And then what happened was that it turned out that these ideas weren't coming from him. They were coming from Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, of course, a fantastic game series as well. There's something,
because they got him on Zollner. They got Zollner on drug charges, but now they're seeing that it was much more serious than this.
There's something so lame about the journaling process, where he's just like, I want to kill all the police. I'm going to kill everybody around me. Ooh, I better write this down. Better write it down to my little trapper keeper.
See, you know what?
I don't know if journaling in this case helped.
I find that I end up journaling like once every 5 years. Well, write a bunch of thoughts out. It is kind of fun to look back, but at the time, it does nothing for me yet at the time. But
I guess, although, man, one of them, I think it was the beginning of the end of privacy when they released Kurt Cobain's journal.
That was really sad.
Did you ever read that?
I remember buying it and looking
guilty.
through it. I remember buying it, being really excited, and then reading it and being really sad as I was reading it.
Yeah, I was like,
why am I reading this?
He didn't want me to read this.
No.
It's kind of weird.
But the day before his crimes, Walter Zollner III, he posted a YouTube short, which is, what an innovative idea. But this is the content of it. This is according to his name, Walter Zollner III, 7288.
So he's journaling and YouTubing, and he wants to be a mass murderer?
Come on, choose a lane.
Good afternoon. If you were wondering, God is real, devils are real, and even ancient eldritch gods that can possess you are real. How do I know this? Because I got tricked into selling my soul. Don't listen to the voices in your head unless it's God himself.
See, he's saying
dude,
these things.
How is he boring?
How
can you fucking have an entire kill journal and kill your neighbor?
A Cthulhu's in your brain, and we're still not like hey guys, like and subscribe if you want to hang out. Like, honestly, some energy. But no, he what I don't like it is, I'll continue the video a little bit, it's the ooh woo. Oh no, get feeling a little bit of a possessed by a Cthulhu eldritch god there.
Yeah.
Like, super cute about it. Here, I'll finish it.
Yeah, play it.
In which case, make sure you pay attention to the guy because he knows what he's talking about. Otherwise, if it's any of those other fallen angels or demons, or they try to call themselves spirits, don't listen to them. They're full of it, and they want your soul. I know this because I made a mistake, and I agreed to help formulate a godhead. Oh. And now I have an old ancient god that I can't name possessing me. And I'm in a bit of trouble. So if you see this and you know anyone who can perform an exorcism, please get in touch with me. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
He's absolute shit. He's absolutely full of shit. I feel like I wonder whether or not he's trying to set up for an insanity plea.
No, because he's not insane
this.
enough. Because that's the most insane thing I have ever heard. And he's boring. Everyone knows if you do sell your soul to the devil, obviously none of this stuff is real, but let's just say have fun with it.
Yes.
Jack Johnson. You get to play guitar really well.
That's incredible.
You get to become a megastar. You get to be Brad Pitt.
Incredible.
You don't make a YouTube video. Technically, you're supposed. Did he just sell his soul like for crackers?
Oh yeah.
Because usually you're like, yeah, I'll give you my soul, but I want $1 billion. I want the hottest woman around, and I want immense talent. And then the devil's like, here you go, sweetheart, Ursula. It's the Little Mermaid. This guy didn't get anything in return.
Do you think that's what Melissa McCarthy did?
Melissa McCarthy is apparently very rude in real life.
Whoa!
I know some people who worked with her. They said she was very rude.
Whoa, blind items. No,
But
yeah,
why,
you should have got more out of this deal. If you were going to be talking, yes, if you are a member of the elder gods that's creating an unknown godhead, you really think he'd at least change your hair color to something more startling than a muddled brown. He has sort of like an Orville Redenbacher hairstyle that unfortunate. Refix it.
No. Let's not demean Orville. I watched a great History Channel because the History Channel, because we're so fat in this country, all it talks about is food now.
So you're saying that? So we're going after Melissa McCarthy.
I'm not
but
going
we're
to go
loving
after
Orville
her.
Redenbacher.
She's fine. I've just heard that she was quite rude on set and very mean to people. That's all.
I don't know.
Maybe they deserve to be yelled at.
Objection. Hearsay.
It's a podcast. Everything we do is hearsay.
Objection.
Anyway,
I would like to think the defendant is too sexy.
if you are possessed by the devil, one of the things that I would like to think I wouldn't need is a tactical vest and survival gear. Because again, what did he sell his soul for? But it's interesting, this Zollner case.
It's the cutie thing. It's him doing this like, oopsie-doo, it's a bit of a problem for me. This like TikTok sarcasm voice that has infiltrated this group of people that I just don't understand. You are a murderer and you're annoying me.
And he's super, super boring. Exorcisms are up. According to Father Carlos Martins, he says that the Catholic Church is getting a bunch of new exorcisms.
I got a really interesting email from somebody when we were talking about canonization last week, talking about the processes that were like, it's extremely political. It's really strange.
Sure. I can't even imagine.
But yes, exorcisms really are blowing up. Exorcism school in the Vatican is it's massive. It's like a whole thing.
It's like an actual Hogwarts.
Oh yeah,
I can see.
But the kids, they just run and scared.
Well, and if the kids have warts, we need an investigation into these goddamn priests. But I can see the allure.
Oh,
you're
sure.
like, come hang out of the Vatican, take our exorcism classes.
Because it's adding to like the thing of like it's cool. We're God's warriors.
So this guy, he says he's a participant in a bunch of exorcisms. He says one particular, this guy shot up backwards in the air and he was hissing like a cat.
That's cool.
So why the fuck wasn't that guy backwards in the air hissing like a cat instead of whining on YouTube and journaling?
Honestly, technically, he's just taking it to content, which is in 2023 an extremely responsible idea.
Yeah. Is it 2023?
Yep.
It was funny. I was looking at the tags of my truck and it said 2022 and I said, oh, that's good. I'll update it.
No, it's out
of a year.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say that.
Dude, it was funny.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like,
just driving around without a registration.
No, I have it registered. It's
no, you don't, because it's 2022.
No, it's a stupid little fucking sticker, bro.
But you didn't put the sticker on it.
I looked at it and it was like, great, 2022 checks out.
Yep.
But it's 2023.
It's been a year.
I also said the other day,
you got that in 2021.
I was also, someone asked me how old I was, and I said 37.
You're not. You're
I'm 41.
Absolutely not. Why you're just lying?
No, I didn't. I'm 37, but then I thought about it. I was like, wait, no, I'm not. I'm 41.
You're just time traveling. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying you're drunk?
I think I'm possessed.
I mean, you honestly, let's call an exorcist. Maybe they can help you, like, because you are being inhabited by a 37-year-old ghost that actually thinks that he's looking at the future.
That would be the saddest if you just get to be 4 years younger.
Yes.
You'd be like, yeah, I'm 70, but I'm 66 if you look at my ghost years.
You know, I feel like, what's the difference between 39-year-old me and 35-year-old me? They're both doing all right.
Well, you're probably healthier now, actually. I feel like I got a little bit more meat on the bone right now, but then I'll slowly lose it into my 50s.
That's like make you a big piece of marble and make you a more intricate statue.
Slowly lose it throughout my 50s, and then by the time you get to your 50s and 60s, then you slowly start to wither away, and then you die. Henry, this next story is for you because I could see it happening to you.
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty wise.
No shame, and nor should you. Physical nudity is something that you have exercised on stage, in your personal life, in front of all of us, on your Instagram, for example.
Absolutely.
A seagull ripped off a dude's testicle while he was sunbathing naked.
See, it would never happen to me because my testicles Actually, fairly small, according to a
Inverted.
doctor. Yeah.
Inverted. That's what they said.
Yeah. They hide, though.
Experts fear that this bird mistook the man's privates for a couple of bird eggs, which is technically a compliment.
Yeah, how big and fluffy are his balls?
The man has not
and they're
been
just
named.
out?
I guess so. It was in Ipswich.
How available do your balls need to be for a seagull to get up at him?
He has a set.
Is he just lying spread eagle at the beach? Even I feel like at a nude beach, isn't there some decorum?
This is in Suffolk County
Are
because
you
this is from the
showing full
Suffolk
asshole
Gazette.
at the beach? I mean, I'll ask.
Oh, yeah.
sidestorieslpotl@gmail.com. If you're at the nude beach, how
Nude.
how frowned upon is full pink?
Not. It's nude.
But I mean, yes, nude, but then sitting just like spread eagle, letting people just see, letting them all just like.
Yeah. Dude, I went to a nude beach, which was a big deal for me. And it's funny because you see like chicken nugget bodies and they're cute. And then you see buff people.
Yeah.
Like there are just some people who are like, yeah, I see why they don't got clothes on.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
And then the other people, they're just like me, normal looking guys, you know?
What I just don't understand is like, why am I opening my penis up to all these elements? Like the point of having the short is that it's keeping the snapping turtles away. It's keeping the seagulls away. Now that I know that seagulls, you can't trust the sky because Poo-Poo falls down from it.
Right.
You definitely can't trust a brown cloud. And now you definitely can't trust your own nudity outside because these seagulls are looking to steal other people's eggs.
So the dude was lying there on his patio in his defense. And then all of a sudden,
he was in his home.
Yeah, we're on his property. And then all of a sudden, this seagull just swooped right down, grabbed his nut, and then they say it ripped it off like it was a monster.
This is my thing. How does it pop off so hard? It's so easy.
I think it ripped it off like a monster.
You mean you really don't? I think
it
the second I feel it jumping in my balls, I'm going to be grabbing at this fucking bird. I'm going to be pulling up and beating this thing to death.
You know seagulls are scary.
Yes.
Birds freak me out.
Mine.
No, those were mine. Those are my testicles.
What movie is that from?
I'm not quite sure.
Is this a Disney movie?
Yeah, maybe.
Mine.
Probably not legal to watch in Florida anymore.
No.
So they rushed him to the hospital. His wife did. Because his wife was like, hey, those are mine too, you know?
It's half hers, yeah.
Yeah. And then
that's Grand Ball Auto.
It really
Grand
is.
Theft Ball.
Ball Auto. The hospital source, which I guess there's just a smoking man in the corner who was telling all the secrets of the hospital to the reporter here.
Come here, let me tell you one time. You'd be surprised what rabbits can do.
He says nobody could quite believe it when the poor chap was brought in. There was a lot of blood, and he was in agony, but he will feel better in a few weeks. Not life-threatening, but I don't know what they're going to do with his fucking balls. I think he's just got one ball now.
Where'd the seagull go?
They said he's going to be able to have kids, though.
Where'd the seagull go?
It went to enjoy its lunch.
So you mean to tell me it went straight for a man's dick and balls and then just went to go live a free life?
I guess so,
like it's the Zodiac killer?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
And so this thing was flying. No one else saw this thing flying around with blood dripping from its seagull mouth, holding a set of testicles.
As a matter of fact, a spokesman for the research group Seagull Watch International kind of defends the seagull. They say no defense. No defense. Everyone has a defense. John Adams. Eggs are full of protein. It's why we eat them. After all, gulls will often steal other birds' eggs.
Yeah, I like eggs too.
So they say, so it's unfortunate that this man
they were attached to a man. How alabaster and spherical were his balls?
They say it's unfortunate for this man that his private parts resembled a couple of eggs in a nest.
So they're just saying, so they're blaming the testicles.
Yes. And they say,
they're blaming the testicles.
Well, they go as far as to say it is no doubt a young adult gull that is still learning to be independent.
So I will not allow the Zoe Deschanel explanation into
people
this.
People are defending the seagull.
I'm not going to say that seagull was too adorkable to understand that the man's balls were not eggs, because that doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what his spokesperson. That's what the seagull's spokesperson said.
What's on top of the balls? The dick. What's on top of the dick? Bush. What looks like eggs?
The balls. It's the little worm nestled between a couple of balls.
How many? It's at the nude beach.
Eggs. No, it's a patio. So it's actually also no mention on the fact that that's fucking trespassing, but whatever.
That's the other deal. That's a man I can't believe there's no justice. There's no justice. Not in this world.
All right.
Not in this fucking world.
All right.
All right, I got some stories about forest demons.
Great.
Oh, and I want to say thank you, Fernando, for reminding me about the story about Dave Matthews. I believe it's May 8th is the actual
Poo-Poo anniversary?
August 8th is the actual anniversary of when he dropped the poo-poo on the people.
No shit.
The human waste in Chicago.
Wow.
You know, 5 presidents.
Dude,
since.
Dave Matthews did such a great job at Willie Nelson's 90th birthday.
He wasn't bad the last time when I saw him with
He's
my
very
girlfriend in
talented.
high school. Yeah, he's fine.
South African.
He
and Elon Musk.
Great. Now here we go. Forest demons. Are they real or are people making up excuses? I don't know.
Let's see.
Here comes this is from Mysterious Universe. I love this story. Now, people know. People are afraid of the forest. I'm one. I don't like the forest. I actively dislike nature.
Oh, man.
I don't trust it.
We stumbled upon one of those old burnt down houses in the middle of the woods when we were kids. We used to party out there.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
That's fun as hell. No, I exaggerate, but I get scared out there. I don't like it. I'm a city person. I like that.
Well, I don't think you've really been in.
I'm walking here. Hey, I'm walking here. I like hearing that. I like hearing like,
racist.
hot dog.
That's what I say.
Hey, garam masala.
There you go. Well, yeah, I love the way they always sell spaghetti in the carts outside of the MSG.
That's Indian food.
I don't know. But I don't think you've ever been in a forest.
I've seen them. I've seen pictures.
Have you been in one? Like the black
what do you mean?
Like in a forest. Like when we were.
I went to Forest Park in New York.
Well,
I've been to Central Park.
No.
I've been to Piedmont Park in Atlanta. I've been to Trinity Bellwoods Park in Toronto.
Those are parks.
There's trees there. So it's like a forest. It's just small. It's just simulated.
Yeah, but I think it has to be bigger.
Yes, you might be right. Now, this is a story from My Haunted Life, too.
Ooh,
This comes from Jennifer Gosnell. This is a story that she put in here. She said that she walked along this trail. She was wandering. She said it was like, she was 15 years old. Her family lived in a rural property, and she just wanted to see. She went there. She was not expecting to see a demon. Right? Because she was walking along.
Also, you know what I learned from Forrest Gump? You know that kid in the beginning of Forrest Gump?
The one that is him in the future?
Yeah.
Or the one that's his son?
So he talks like Forrest Gump.
Yes.
And then Tom Hanks, they were like...
he made the accent off the little
So the kid did it.
Yes, if
and
you
then
watch
Tom Hanks just copied the kid.
That's a real actor. That's what actors do. He also, if you saw the screen test for it, he had no accent, and it's really weird to be like, she taught me how to dance. And I taught her how to dangle. Because you actually sound more touched by an angel if you say it in a normal voice than because that makes sense.
I just think the kid deserves more credit because everyone gives it to Tom Hanks.
He gave him credit.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he got points in the back end or something.
All right.
No, you want to go back through. She said she walked along. It was devoid of wildlife that day. Nothing stirring. She didn't even see a deer or a rabbit. She couldn't understand. She said the forest felt still and silent, as if stuck into time.
Oh.
All right, and she looked at first, maybe she saw this weird black thing standing near a tree line, and it seemed to just stare at her. And at first, she thought maybe it's a hunter. But then she had an idea that popped in her head. Was that a man in a gorilla suit?
Well, why?
And then she looked. And she noticed that something else entirely, and a certain dread crept up on her. I was about 50 feet away from the tree line, from where it was, but it was staying so still now that I began to squint and look really hard to see what he was doing. Then as the sun shone down, I saw the dark red and the hairs all over it. The face with its black, empty-looking eyes.
The sundown clown.
Staring back at me, and I suddenly realized this was no hunter in a moss suit. There was some kind of animal man thingy. And I was alone in a cornfield about 3/4 of a mile from my home with this thing. I picked up a clump of mud. I tossed it towards the creature without thinking, and I yelled at it, "You go! You go!"
If I was a demon, I'd tear her apart right now.
This is when she dies.
Yeah.
I don't know how she told the
she's
story.
ready to. Yeah.
That's when this thing moved for the first time as the clump of mud landed feet in front of it and it stood up looking very menacing. And I realized it had been squatting this whole time. And it was scary how tall it was.
It's taking a demon shit.
It's scary to be tall. Right? My heart was beating so hard. I knew I'd never outrun it as fast as I could. And then I had no options. It let out a horrible scream. But then That just rumbled in my head like a bass. I heard it from me. It's rumbled in my own chest from a speaker, and then it turned and began to recede in the forest, screaming the entire time.
So how do we know it's a demon? Also,
because it's bad. Because she went, she saw, oh no, that is not some deer. I thought maybe it a deer, maybe it a man in some kind of suit, and then I realized when he tall and yell, and he very, very tall, I realized, oh, he a demon.
Well, that demon's not even as scary as this guy Clifton E. Williams out of Kentucky. This guy shot his fucking roommate. Didn't kill him. He's only charged with assault. But he shot his roommate for eating his last Hot Pocket.
Oh, no, I have more demon stories.
There's more demon stories?
Oh, yeah, this is even a better story.
Well, I hope they're slightly more dangerous than the one that just ran away after taking a dump after mud was thrown at it.
Actually, I think this story is the most interesting of all because it might actually explain some of what you've run into on your own, Benjamin Kissel. All right, because you don't know how this shit is, right?
I guess. I'm not quite sure.
This was on your ghost stories. This is a woman by the, she didn't give her name because she
was just doing synopsis on horrible TV shows?
No. And so this woman, she said, she was in Minnesota, another Minnesota story. It was autumn at the time. And the mother had recently become a Catholic, just recently, brand new Catholic.
Okay.
And that's how you know that this is bad. This is forest demons.
You never think of someone becoming a Catholic. You think you're born into it.
It's a bad idea.
Wow.
So
they got a convert.
I don't know why. Because she went, and so she said now that she's a new Catholic, she wanted to attend a Catholic conference, right?
Oh,
so one day the mother decided to take a stroll through a nature preserve area near the hotel she was staying at for this Catholic conference, at which she had been informed held numerous walking paths through the trees, which were changing color at the time in all their glory. Because it's fun to see the foliage.
It is.
I watch it change from green to red.
Some bluish hues.
Back to green. Red.
They do fall down.
Purple's mountain majesty, right? She went to go look at these lovely leaves. Fascinating. Absolutely.
I mean, there's not a lot to do when you're a new Catholic.
And then she said something got weird, right? She walked back. She noticed that things were very, very silent. Again, forests strangely silent. No way that could possibly be anything normal because the forests make much noise.
They don't.
Forests make much noise. I cannot believe it gets silent. Now, as you know, it has to be a demon.
No, but you know, birds when it's about to rain, they chirp down. They still, every animal. They used to tell the weather by animal reaction.
I don't know. I feel like this waddling woman was almost a victim of a forest demon. She realized she started feeling someone was watching her. It was threatening.
It's the church.
She felt like she was being hunted, feeling uneasy. She started to pray. Then something she could not see breathing heavily in her right ear. She said it sounded like a gigantic beast that had been running hard and was panting.
I think she made the wrong choice in religion.
Oh, she could also hear heavy footsteps crushing through the grass and dried leaves, right? She could see where the leaves were parted. She could see where the grass was going. She knew what was happening. And she suddenly increased her speed. Oh, I got to start running now. Start running. She's really cut.
Oh, yeah.
She's cut.
Getting up to 7 miles an hour there.
Right? She finally seen, the people she had seen in the park earlier had gone home by then. She reached her car. She took forever. She didn't know what was going on. But then she got ready for bed. She felt very shaken.
Oh, my God.
But she's like, now.
This is not even a story.
But Jesus Christ is going to protect me. No, she got scared in the forest. Right? It's a demon.
I watched the I Died and I Came Back. There was one from a priest who said he went to hell and he no longer is a priest anymore. I don't know if the Catholic Church is the right religious path.
It's so metal. I love it. So she went to go to sleep in her hotel room, but the next day was Sunday. Right? So she set up her alarm to wake her for mass, right? Because she wanted to make sure she made it on time.
Yeah, you want to be late.
She went off at the proper time. But as she sleepily reached out to quiet, she noticed that there was a second alarm clock in the room. One that she had not seen before. And this alarm clock at a different time. And according to it, she didn't need to get up for another hour. For some reason, she chose to
She didn't
trust
change her
it.
clocks.
No. She tried to trust it. It was a second demon alarm clock. Because the first one, it kept her on time. And then the next one, purposely lied to her. And what is more deceitful than a demon?
So the demon brought an alarm clock into her room.
When she finally woke up, there was no sign of the mysterious second alarm clock. She missed mass.
Yeah, she's an idiot.
Because the demon corrupted her.
This guy Clifton in Kentucky.
She was affected. She sat alone in prayer, and she's become uncommonly sullen and withdrawn. All right, it turns out that whatever she had encountered in that forest had followed her home and again invaded the woman's thoughts and nightmares, exerting a mysterious negative force. She seemed strangely altered. Her mood was troubled and solitary. I remember her spending a great deal of her time sitting in her chair by the window, praying rosaries with a pained expression in her eyes.
She shouldn't have converted to Catholicism. I think it's ruined her entire life.
I think she got scared by a deer, and it was assaulting her with these visions. And she said that it was assaulting her. Her prayers become jumbled, and it was seeing images. She started saying, "Cock."
Oh,
she started being like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! I hope that you keep me in your mind every single time. Oh, you're fucking me in my front asshole," which is like, "Oh, my pussy."
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, you're fucking my front asshole.
I think she has like maybe early onset dementia. Sometimes you get a little more crass during the later years.
All of this was trying to keep her from being Catholic.
I don't think that's the case.
You
can be Catholic and do a lot of horrible things.
You know what happens when you go to put a tampon in your vagina, and it turns out you just shoved the tampon in your butthole because your vagina and your asshole be switched? That is a demon. If he switched to two holes,
we've covered it before. It happens with the male genitalia.
They're forest demons. You got to be careful out there, and that's why you don't go out there.
Just go out there, and it's totally fine. Clifton E. Williams, 64 of Louisville. So he got into a fight. Go on.
She said she stopped praying, and the demon went away
because she's mentally ill. She's old, and
no way.
Live from your grave.
This guy shot his roommate, as I mentioned earlier, because he stole the last Hot Pocket.
That is realer than a demon.
This is realer than a demon. But also he started throwing tiles at him, right? So then the roommate reportedly tried to leave, but then Williams went back into the house they shared together, grabbed a gun, and then he shot the victim in his buttocks. So he shot him in the butt.
Something jumped up and bit me.
So there you go.
Something jumped up.
That's my story.
Is that the entire story?
Yeah, isn't that funny? So the guy ate his last Hot Pocket. Also, he's 64 with roommates. Things have not gone great.
No, yeah, you see the mugshot of the dude?
Yeah, he's smiling. He's happy as shit.
He is loving it.
Yeah, because
he really
got back at his roommate and he shot him in the ass.
Well, I want to know what kind of Hot Pocket
that actually proves to your point, by the way. We talked about this on Open Lines. Does a little bit of lumpy lard help you against a bullet? You shoot someone in the buttocks, they're fine.
Oh, no, well, a butt shot is the kindest way to let somebody know I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, it really is.
Here we go. Yeah, he got into they don't say what it was the Hot Pocket. Because that's my main thing is that, like, I love a breakfast Hot Pocket.
Yeah,
if I'm going to have
I don't
one,
like them.
I don't like them. They're not good.
No, I don't mind the taste. It's just there's no time or temperature that is appropriate. They're either too hot, you can't get it right. It's too cold. And also, they've been skimping on the fillings.
Oh, yes.
The first cycle of Hot Pockets.
It's way more pocket than hot now.
Yes. And the first, I'm telling you, it's like when a new bar opens, they're like half off every day. You want to touch my balls? And the next thing you know, you got to pay to do that now?
It's like the guy who got me addicted to heroin because drug dealers always give it away for free. Dare was completely correct. When he got me involved and he was like, here's just a little sample. I was at Costco and he dropped that line. Honestly, it was much because I've had nurses tell me I got good veins.
Yeah.
And so he dropped it right in. And honestly, and ever since, I'm kind of thankful because again, heroin's really about the friends you make along the way.
And of course, the ones you lose.
But yeah, Hot Pockets, like they lied to us as kids.
Well,
because the first ones had good meat chunks.
The first one actually had substance to it. And now this whatever we're in, this late stage crony corrupt capitalism.
That's what this is all about.
And also, Lean Pocket. Just get a fucking Hot Pocket.
If you're eating Lean Pocket,
it doesn't matter.
You're just lean. So deeply in denial.
I am
saying this as two facts. Two facts are telling you it's not real. Diet Coke is not helping either. It's not making you skinnier. It's not a workout anything. It's just filled with liquid petroleum.
The Lean Pocket, it is a lie. And I watched 1,000 Pound Sisters.
Just eat the Hot Pocket.
And it was the bigger one, Tammy, I think. Whatever. And she's
lost weight now, though.
She has, and she looks just great. And she was eating a bunch of chips, and she said, "You're diet." But then the other lady said, "Doesn't mean they're calorie free." We've been watching them die. I also talked a lot on, I guess it was the last Hail Yourself, Nikado Avocado. He's eating himself to death.
Well, that's his job.
Now, wasn't supposed to be.
I think that he might.
Have you seen the black?
Yes.
The latest? He like has a claw. It's nasty.
I think he might be troubled.
Yeah, because all the comments are either like good, looking great, or why are you killing yourself, bro?
Because he likes that dichotomy. That's his audience. That's his brand.
It's a weird audience. Isn't
it? Ask Christian.
Yeah.
Every
day.
Man. So, we talked a little bit about this. I think we talked about it in the stream where someone came and paid they're out.
You know what?
They paid their bail. They are out. Wearing the Sonichu necklace, just fucking juice is loose.
Chris Chan could probably just die. You know, that wouldn't be bad.
And not until the trial, because we need that content.
I don't even. All right, just lastly, a dude butt-ass naked at a UFC gym just started attacking people at the gym. So that's kind of a weird thing to do because it's probably a fetish.
Is there not something scary, truly scary being attacked by a naked man? Because remember what's that movie? The
Naked Man Attacks?
Naked Man Attacks 5 through 7?
Keanu.
Because some of those are incredible. Keanu believes, isn't it?
Believes.
Keanu believes is amazing in those, and his cock is 14 inches long.
I could see it, actually.
It's the one, it's a series, David Cronenberg movie, when they're fighting in the men's, it's like the gym or whatever, they're all fighting each other. It's just great. It's just scary. Fighting naked is extremely difficult, but I also think it's kind of advantageous because then nobody can get at you. They can't grab your clothes because you're slick as an eel.
Yeah, he was. He ran out of the UFC gym, and then he started harassing a wheelchair-bound man, and then he clobbered him in the back of the head with a bag, and then he hit another citizen with a bag, and then the cops arrived and they tasered him.
History of Violence with Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, History of Violence. You know what? Maybe I just have to rewatch it.
It's a great movie.
I didn't think it was violent enough.
Well, you get to that.
So
there's
then
a couple of scenes.
There's a couple of scenes, but I thought it was, but maybe I just was in a different mood.
You might be confused with the other movie called A Most Violent Year, which is the most violent thing that happens in that movie is like a cough. It is an extremely boring movie, except it's got my girl Jessica Chastain in it.
Yeah, she's really aware that she's your gal.
She sent a bunch of letters back. I've been sending letters.
So anyway, this was in Miami, and it was at 9:20 p.m. So have fun. Have fun with it.
Have fun with that.
Seagull didn't bite that guy's cock off.
Nothing's safe.
Yep.
Nothing's safe. Poo-Poo fell from the sky.
Yep.
And that not a demon. And that's crazy. And the fact that seagulls think your balls are eggs, someone needs to teach these seagulls. Where are these seagulls in reading comprehension? I want to see these seagulls' intelligence levels from other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Do they think I've not heard another story from Japan where a seagull thinks that somebody's balls are fucking eggs? I haven't seen this story in Europa.
Nope, I haven't either. Also, there's a new weapon out there that's used that can take drones out of the sky with a kinetic attack, with non-kinetic attacks.
Cool.
So that's happening.
I want
Wars, very fun.
I want one. Man, I want a big weapon. I don't want a little dumb gun.
No,
I don't want a rifle, man. I want a drone, dude. That would be fucking awesome.
All right.
We get so much more work if we just had that leverage. If we could do single-handed drone warfare against the studios, we'll end that strike.
Yeah,
I'm about to strike.
So.
SAG strike. Uni man, I'm striking next week.
Are you striking?
Oh, yeah.
Well, isn't that
I just
nice?
voted yes. I voted yes to saying yes to that we would say yes to striking.
Democracy in action.
I love it, man. No work,
fun.
baby.
Yeah.
I wasn't working anyway.
It's going to be a big change. What are you going to do with all that free time? Because,
man, I'm very busy.
Superstore still on?
I'm extremely busy.
Superstore?
Don't you worry about that.
All right, let's do Hero of the Week. I don't know if this really counts, but I'm calling it. And it's going to be a person.
Whoa.
Yes, this is a lassoer. He's a cowboy.
I love a man with skill.
Interstate 75. Apparently there's a cow on it.
Yeah, sure.
And it was in Holly, Michigan on Sunday. And instead of just shooting the cow like cops would if it was a person, they called in a dude who was an official cow wrangler. And then he came and then he lassoed the cow.
Well, yeah, it's his job. That's incredible, though. I mean, it is one of those things where, it's like when people say, oh, we were talking about John Cena. He's talking about how he doesn't want to have kids, but because he's done the #1 Make-A-Wish grants,
right.
They're like, oh, it's such a shame that you want to have kids. But he's just saying, hey, just because the bare minimum, I don't hate kids, doesn't mean I should be a father.
Also,
it's the same thing here.
To his credit, he sees them all die. Make-A-Wish is very sad. It's very hard. It is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to do that.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult.
When you're making a wish, things aren't good.
No. And again, we've done this bit before. The better the wish that you're being granted as a child, the closer to death you know that you are.
To be honest, they'll just wait it out.
Oh, yeah, dude. If Elton John rolls in your hospital room, you only have days left.
It's over. And also with CGI, you hit the big home run. Just fake it. Just fucking fake it. Who cares? Who cares?
You mean to tell me
At that point, who cares?
That's where ChatGPT is going to come in and start taking jobs from people granting wishes
Great.
for Make-A-Wish? That they're just going to
fake
fake
the whole World Series game. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Anyway, so the cow was going around and having fun, and then this guy lassoed him. The police say the bovine was not charged and is back in the pasture with a story to tell the other livestock.
Hey, I mean...
So they didn't give the name of the guy that lassoed him.
Yeah, they didn't even say the name of the guy that saved the day.
It's a pretty shitty hero.
I mean, actually, no. Because again, he did his job.
He did.
He didn't lasso it and then rape the cow.
No, he did not.
He didn't he didn't take the highway hostage.
No,
and like
he didn't.
say like, no, that's a man. He arrived.
And he did
his job. He didn't brag.
No.
Actually, I think that makes him more of a hero than anything, knowing for a fact that we don't know his name. The man did his job, and then he hopped onto another horse.
Oh, yeah,
and went away.
Yeah. And he's like a real cowboy. So that's kind of fun.
So good work for you, masculine man.
All right.
You Marlboro man. Hope you quit.
Marlboro.
Be careful because you're going to get that mouth
Oh,
cancer.
yeah. The final moments of the actual Marlboro man, they hid that.
Oh, no. Yeah. He became a tumbleweed.
Yes, he did.
Here we go. Here's some listener letters.
Oh, letters. Tangible. Ooh, this just in. Pony Express.
Uh-oh. Let me get them. They're in my satchel.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in nursing school, we have to do clinicals. Essentially going to a hospital as a student and following nurses around learning, quote unquote, in the trenches. At the end of every day of clinical, the group would get back together and with our professor for the day, talk about our day as a group, share stories. Yes. This hospital in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, had a floor that was set to be renovated, but was being used as storage for the time. So they're having us use the nurse break room on that floor for our meetings after our clinicals.
Okay.
We frequently heard doors opening and closing during our meetings, but we didn't think anything of it. They were just retrieving something from storage room, somebody else. One day, however, was different. We were wrapping up doing our meeting when a call light went off from one of the rooms, and we could hear the bell ringing at the nurse's station. This being the system patients can call to get nurses or staff to the room. Now, again, the floor was not being used, so a call light going off was definitely odd.
That's strange.
This was an old system. It didn't have the ability to talk to the room like new ones that are basically like phones to the nurse's station. This is creepy.
Yeah.
We canceled the call thinking it was just a glitch or someone jumped the button retrieving supplies. Or we actually bumped the button while retrieving supplies.
Okay.
We had made it 5 steps before the light went off again. Several of us thought it was creepy, but thought nothing of it.
Is it possible that someone has actually died?
No one was there.
No one's there. Okay.
No one's there. The system doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
A couple of our rough and tumble army medics training to be nurses say that they're going to go check it out. They went to the room and opened the door. The room was filled with hospital beds arranged like Tetris blocks filling the room, and across the room, the call light was flashing. Nobody bumped it. It was literally impossible to get to. No sooner had they stepped from the room, but the call light for every room went off at once at the nurse's station. All 30-plus rooms. In addition, several rooms that were left open around the unit slammed shut, including the door into the break room we were using, and eliciting a scream from those who hadn't wanted to originally leave the room. As well, the huge solid corridor into the unit slammed open so hard it hit the wall behind it and left a crack in the sheetrock.
I'm starting to think having your weekly meetings or daily meetings
in an abandoned hospital is very frightening and maybe it's very scary.
Yeah.
Then slammed closed so hard, we couldn't open it. We had to call maintenance to let us out. We were stuck inside. The call lights all immediately stopped after the big door had slammed shut. The door shouldn't have been able to do that. It was an automatic door that needed a code to even open. It was on hydraulics.
They got to get Patrick Ewing in there, dude. This is Exorcist 3 shit.
The angel. We wrapped our meeting early that day. Hospitals as a whole are pretty creepy. And in my time working as a nurse, I've seen my fair share of movement out of the corner of my eye, doors opening or shutting without reason, but nothing compares to that day.
Woo,
very,
cool.
very scary.
They don't teach that in nursing school.
No, they don't. They just they teach you how to save a life.
They do, or take one slowly without getting caught.
You just learn that yourself. That's called a side hustle.
Yes, I mean, seriously, I would say 1 in 5 angels of death, nurses that kill,
used to be
caught.
great. Yeah, oh yes, oh yeah.
I think most of them don't get caught.
Well, a lot of times, or do they do it habitually? Do they do it a couple of times?
Also, organ harvesting.
Oh, very much so.
Very common.
Absolutely. Corn comes in September. Kidneys are actually really good in spring.
There you go.
Now, when you read this, envision my mom, this Louis Anderson character, Mama Baskets, because it's basically who my mother is.
Okay.
She's Midwestern nice and loves Costco. Loves to tell me what she got there.
Oh.
So my mom is half Swedish. She's born here, immigrant parents. And she heard like the one ghost song that was about Satan, and she was really excited, right? Because she found out that they were Swedish. She was like, oh, I've been listening to Ghost for years because I love Ghost. Truly Satanist
Ghost.
band. Love the game.
Yes.
It's a one-man band, but he hires people. It's one guy who is Ghost.
Oh, no shit.
And he hires people out to go on concert with him, but he makes all the albums. Yeah, I think he's got more of a collective band now, but I like him. Some people kind of deride him, but I like him as a full-on circusy satanic rock.
Okay, you enjoy your tomes.
I do.
Yes.
I do. Now, I've been listening to Ghost for years. I never brought it up to her because I don't feel like being evangelized every time I go home. She loves to do that, especially during Christmas. So I'm here for a random weekend. I'm wearing one of my Ghost shirts. And she's like, oh, I like that shirt. What is it? And I said, it's my favorite band, Ghost. And she's like, oh my God, that's devil music. Right? Daddy showed them to me. And at first I was excited because they're Swedish, but then they were summoning the devil. And Ghost isn't allowed in my home. Why do you like them? And I just said, Mom, stop. Nobody's summoning the devil. It's just music. I'm pretty sure she's praying for my soul now and wishing she never took us to a non-denominational church with the bad praise band. And we laughed at the bad praise band. My mom said, I'm going to kill you both when we get home and eat a bucket of KFC over your dead bodies.
Isn't that sweet?
Hey,
well, that's that story.
Yeah.
I
thought that there was going to be more book, but we
No, I agree with the mom, though. I agree with the mom. If you're going to summon the devil, music is a great way to do it. It's a classic trope for a reason.
It's the devil's pavilion.
Also, I think God likes music. Everyone, these deities seem to like, he likes covered music, but where they replaced the word jizz with God.
Oh, yeah.
They just replace, ooh, baby, baby, like that Amy Grant song.
Slap some God on my back, Lord.
There you go.
Slap some God on my belly, Christ.
My neck, my back, my pussy, and my God.
Whoa. Yeah, because God made all that.
He did.
He made that pussy.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, God, for making that wet-ass pussy. Because that's why he made it get wet. And when you look it down and you notice that poo-poo's wet, when you look down and you know that pussy's wet, you better hope it ain't poo-poo. And then you can love the fact that thankfully my wife's vagina's not a butthole. And you can, live honestly, wondering whether or not it's going to change at any time and live in that hesitancy.
I think that we've learned human adaptability. I truly believe if we woke up tomorrow and buttholes were vaginas and vaginas were buttholes and our schlong and ding dong and our balls were on the other, I think people would just be like, oh, okay.
Eventually, we'd laugh about it.
We would laugh about it.
At some point, we would be like, hey, you remember when buttholes were in pussies?
And then you had to back into each other.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember? Like, we would talk like, yeah, that would be a bit like our grandkids being like, what was that like? It's like, well, yeah, exactly. We used to see each other's faces.
I wouldn't be able to have sex with your mother until, of course, our privates went on the other side. And now we just bump butts. And that's how you were born. The best part about it now
is I can have an orgasm at Circuit City.
Isn't that nice? And give birth on your stomach. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening. Great. Hail yourselves.
This is really, really good.
Really good.
Really good. Check out Spring Hill Jack Coffee and Hail Satan if you would.
Magustalation's also July 16th, Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. I haven't been to San Francisco in so fucking long.
It's been a minute, man.
It'll be interesting.
Will you go to Mission Burrito for me?
Yeah. Is it even open anymore? Also, Mission Burrito, I think it has a different connotation now.
What?
Yeah. It's when you do the Dirty Dozen with 13 guys. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Dirty Dozen with 13 guys. That's incredible.
Yeah.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors. You can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.